In studio for a bit is Shreveport Mayor Ollie Tyler. Lots of questions. Hey, Miss Ollie, how are you today? Thank you for taking time for us.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be here today.
I don't know if you were listening coming in. Erin says she had secret questions. Questions that she will not divulge until
she knows some of them.
Well, you want to start with one? Where would you like to begin?
We're gonna let her get to accomplishments and things that are ahead for 2018. But we got to get this big effluent out of the room. Is that it? Is Ollie Tyler running for re-election?
I plan to run, yes, absolutely.
So this is official. You're running for re-election.
I have not made the official announcement, but I do plan to run.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. So if Matt stood up and said, I've got a $20 bill in my pocket and I would like to donate it to someone's campaign re-election fund, would you go, I have a suggestion?
Yes, she probably does.
I probably will.
I'm looking at your list of things that you've done in your 3 years. You've been in office 3 years.
Yes.
And I'm kind of stunned by, people in Shreveport are the first to complain about things. But you've spent is it $58 million on roads?
Absolutely.
Since you've been in office?
$58.6 million so far.
Is that money that from previous bond issues that we just hadn't gotten to? Or did you have a fairy godfather that brought that money to you?
No, we did not. Let me tell you, from 2011, there was some funding for major projects for roadway improvements. However, each year, monies come in from various sources earmarked directly for street improvement and repair. And so we've tried to make sure that we use the money for what it was intended. And so we've been able to use a lot of the money that did come in for special street revenue from the Special Street Revenue Fund. However, we did have money that was there earmarked for street improvement. The improvements needed to happen. And so we designed a plan. I think you and I have talked about that when I first came aboard, and we talked about our strategic plan of action and how we were going to move ahead and get things done. So since 2015 through the end of December 2017, we've done about 216 street projects. We have a few of those that are going to go over into this year.
People that are listening that have street issues, give them the best way to get it addressed. What is their best opportunity? I've got a pothole on Westport. Who do I call? What do I do?
Okay, if they will, call our engineering department, if they will call our public works director, they will be able to respond to those issues. Actually, we've just released our new roadway improvement plan, and I think you may have a copy of that.
Sure.
And it is online for those people to see, but we are trying to get to all the streets. Actually, this year, just looking ahead, we plan to do more than 80 new improve streets this year. Most of those streets will be directly within neighborhoods. We started out with collector streets, those streets that connect neighborhoods to kind of main streets that are really used a lot by high traffic. But we're going in directly into the neighborhoods this year. That is our look ahead for our road improvement projects. And so if they'll go online, their street may be actually
already on the
list to have a major overlay. We try not to do a lot of patchwork. I feel like that is not the way to go. If we can find funding to do the entire street, we will do that. In our city, many of our streets, we can use overlay for them, asphalt overlay, but some of them are concrete. The concrete streets cost a lot more.
Right.
And so, but I just want to say to the team, the Tyler team, thank you for the hard work for the past 3 years. So many of the people that work for the city of Shreveport have worked so diligently and so very hard to improve services.
You bet. I know, Robert, you want to talk about crime fighting, right?
We can start there. Let me, if you don't mind. We have a listener here who certainly did not mince words, so I'll read you the question they sent, because as the saying goes here in the early part of the 21st century, perception is reality. Would you ask the mayor if she plans to replace the chief of police with a chief of police who will be proactive and hard on crime and criminals? 3 children shot within a 3-week period inside their own homes is 3 too many. and violent crime is happening on her watch and the watch of Chief Crump.
Okay, let me respond to that. Of course, perception of crime is reality for some people, but oftentimes it is perception. Of course, one victim is one too many. I can tell you that Chief Crump has been in office just a little over a year as the chief of this city. The increase in crime did begin before he came aboard. But he put in place some strategies that are working. I brought for you this morning just some of those stats so that you could see that the strategies are working.
Right.
We work very closely with state, federal, local law enforcement. Our police department is doing a tremendous job.
Can they do better?
Of course, we can always do better, and we always look for ways to make things better.
What about the sheriff's involvement? He says that Chief Crump told him he didn't need him. I don't know how much you know about all that, and I mean, can the sheriff help? Can there be more done?
The sheriff does help, and I don't know, and I don't want to speak to what the sheriff said. I can tell you that the sheriff works with the Shreveport Police Department every week. We have sting operations where we have actually we've actually taken so many of those people involved in criminal activity off the street. Just in 2017, for an example, Robert and Aaron, we were able to arrest over 9,000 people that were involved in criminal activity. And of course, working with the sheriff, with the FBI, with Crime Stoppers is also another organization that has been key. But I can tell you the citizens in this community, so many of them have stepped up. And they're working with us. They are now reporting criminal activity. The police department, we hired under Chief Crump's watch, one of the largest number of police officers this past year. We were able to hire 70 new police officers just this past year. Our goal looking ahead is to hire about 80 this year. We know that police presence is really key. I also need to say that we are asking, and we are actually just strongly encouraging people in the community to please report the crime. And to speak to the three youngsters that were hurt, I came from education, so my heart is always there. Mm-hmm. If you would look into some of the details behind those shootings, you will determine that there was some other factors and dynamics. For an example, in one of the homes, the shooting had just occurred a week or so ago in that same household. Mm-hmm. But the little boy had his parents' gun,
right?
And the gun allegedly went off, and shot another child. Police can't stop that kind of crime.
Pardon me. It sounds to me like Chief Crump has a 100% endorsement from Mayor Tyler. Do I read that right?
Chief Crump has my confidence. I believe Chief Crump is doing a great job as a leader. Chief Crump has put in place strategies. He's put in place recruitment efforts. He's changed a lot of policies. His command staff now rides out on patrol with his officers. They are there weekends and all, making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do. We need our community to do more, but I can tell you that the citizens have done more. And we see a trend that's downward. In fact, mm-hmm. if you will, and I hope that you will get a chance, Robert and Aaron, to peruse the stats that we've given to you today, coming directly from our police department, and we report that onto the federal. We're down really over 2016.